hope y'all doing good. It's Black Friday today, so yesterday was Thanksgiving. Happy late Thanksgiving. Hope you guys all had a good Thanksgiving. Mine was pretty chill. I didn't really do too much, just with the family. And obviously had Thanksgiving dinner. Them turkey dinners. Yeah, bro, it's like bad breath over here. What the fuck? Steak. Today I want to talk about, I don't know how to word it, but bro, you don't gotta have it all figured out right now today. I think this is something I struggle with a lot. I'm only 20 years old, but I feel like I gotta have everything figured out, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I gotta fucking know exactly how I'm gonna be making money in the future, what my life's gonna be looking like, if I'm gonna be married or not married, or however, or like, you know, all of that shit about life in general. And then I think, like, bro, I'm only 20 years old, though. It's been, all I've ever known is 20 years of life, but that's all I have to base everything I've ever known off of is 20 years of life. So it's not a lot of time to be in the position to know what I need to do and when I need to do it, and have all of that figured out now. So I think for anyone who's, I guess, younger, just because you're not where you want it to be, like maybe you had a goal a couple years ago to be in a certain spot and you're not there now, it doesn't mean that you're a failure or that you're never going to be able to fucking be successful. It just means you got more things to figure out, and that's fine. You don't have to have it all figured out today or tomorrow or in a week or in a month or even in a year, because half the fucking journey is figuring it out. You know what I'm saying? Like, half of the mistakes, if not most of the mistakes we make, are a result of us not knowing and not having a different perspective than the perspective we had when we made that decision. So not having it all figured out is fine, bro. Like, that's what life is for. It's for figuring shit out, bro. Life is all about figuring it out. And that's the beauty of life as well, is there's literally nothing in life that isn't figure outable. I don't know, there's some fucking book or some shit that's the title or something like that, everything's figure outable or something like that. But it's true, like, just because you made a mistake before doesn't mean that you ruined your fucking life. Even if you feel like it's something that ruined your life. The reality is, like, in a couple years, maybe 5 years, or not even that long, maybe in like 6 months, you'll look back and you'll be like, yeah, bro, I'm glad that shit happened to me. I'm glad that I went through that, and I made that decision, because I gotta learn from it. Mayweather's in town, bro. But that's what I'm saying, like, you don't have to have everything figured out fucking today, bro. You gotta have a fucking plan and a direction in life. But that doesn't mean that everything's gotta be fucking perfect, you know? This guy's about to turn left here. I don't know. This is not a left turn lane, my guy. But I mean, that's kind of all I want to say. Like, I have a lot of internal stress put upon myself to be in a certain spot in a certain amount of time, doing a certain amount of thing, you know, whether it's like making a certain amount of money or having a certain lifestyle or knowing certain people or just achieving some sort of result in general. And that just comes from me being, you know, always trying to optimize everything. I don't know, bro, it's just in my brain. Like, I always try to make everything as best as it could possibly be. And sometimes I don't fully achieve my goals, and it kind of makes me feel like a failure. But I also extract a lesson in every single thing in life. It doesn't have to be a failure specifically, just anything. If I win or if I lose, or if I have a neutral result, but like, no matter what the result is, there's always something to be learned. Look at that Vanquish, bro. I think it's a Vanquish. I don't know shit about Aston Martins, but I think it's a Vanquish. I think it's sick. But there's always something to be learned about anything in life. whether it be financial, interpersonal, like relationships, external with like social settings, school, fucking, I don't know, anything in life. There's always a way you can be better, you can improve, and I'm always looking for that. And I think that kind of sometimes puts pressure upon myself to be in a certain spot because I learned it this way, and now I gotta be here because I have this information or something like that. It's kind of hard to explain unless you like know what I'm talking about, but that's kind of like, you don't gotta be there tomorrow, bro. And everyone's on their own fucking timeline. Some people are gonna achieve their goals sooner than others, and that's because maybe they already had certain qualities, or they've already learned certain lessons that they needed in order to be successful. Because I think if you take something like, I don't know, something simple like if you want to deadlift a certain amount of weight or some shit, every person who's ever deadlifted that amount of weight before you has had to implement certain strategies in order to achieve that goal. So if, let's just say it's like, I don't know, fucking 500 pounds or some shit. Obviously not everyone can deadlift that like off rip. You've got to train for it somehow. And some people are going to be able to deadlift 500 pounds sooner than others because, maybe they're just bigger, or fucking, maybe their form is like better or some shit. But like, certain people are going to do certain things quicker than others, and it's because, they're on their own timeline. But I think it's another thing that comes from trying to have it all figured out is social media. Like, we see other people and we compare ourselves to them, and we think just because they're in that spot, we gotta be there at, like, maybe they're at a certain spot at a certain age. Like, I don't know, you could just say like a millionaire at 20 or some shit. Like, I bought a Lambo at 20 years old or whatever the fuck, like, and it's like, yeah, maybe, bro. Maybe they did buy a Lambo at 20. But just because they did doesn't mean that you should also expect yourself to be doing the exact same fucking thing, bro. And it's like, you compare yourself to that motherfucker being like, why does he get that and I don't? Well, maybe he worked harder than you. Or maybe he's just fucking selling a course, bro. Like, there's factors to this shit. But like, there's factors that go into that outcome. Maybe it's a fucking rental, bro. Who knows? Like, you can't even trust everything you see online to be true anyways. So, you're where you are in life for a reason, and you don't have to have it all fucking figured out tomorrow. That's just kind of what I want to say, because I think a lot of people put stress upon themselves when they don't have something figured out, and they're stressed about uncertainty, because uncertainty is a fucking uncomfortable ass feeling. I hate that shit, and I'm pretty sure like most people do. Like, when I'm not gonna say I hate that shit, because like kind of like my job is uncertainty sometimes, but also is to eliminate uncertainty in other times based on experience. But that's kind of life in general. Like, the first time you do something, you're gonna be uncomfortable as fuck, bro, and you're not gonna know what to do or how to do it. You're just gonna feel weird because you've never done that type of shit before, and it's gonna feel like, it's gonna feel like uncomfortable. I mean, that's just like the best way to explain it. But then you're also gonna have thoughts of like, can I even do this? Should I even be able to do this? Like, is this what's meant for me? And those type of thoughts are also a little bit like dangerous, because that's where a lot of people quit, I feel like. But that's also because a lot of people think that they should have it all figured out right when they fucking start. Like, those thoughts kind of creep in, because it's like, well, maybe this guy did it in only 3 months, and I'm at month 3, and I don't have it fucking figured out, so, I'm not good enough, so I'm just gonna give up. No, bro, that just means that you gotta work a little harder. Or maybe that guy worked a little harder in those 3 months than you worked in your 3 months, So it's like, don't put pressure upon yourself to have it all figured out. If you're in school, or Even if you're not young, even if you're fucking 40 years old, dude, you're still only halfway through your life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think a lot of men don't have that shit figured out until maybe they're 50 years old, 60 years old. Because you learn a lot of lessons along the way, and I don't think you're supposed to have it all figured out when you're young. Because I think it kind of defeats the purpose of life. What's the point of life if you have it all figured out? There's nothing new to experience. There's nothing new to fuck up. There's no, you know, comeback story or underdog story kind of thing. It's like, if you have it all fucking figured out, then, like, the fuck's the point, bro? You know? You're just gonna fucking cruise through life doing what? That's kind of how I look at it. Like, not having it all figured out kind of sucks, but it also kind of is nice at the same time, because you get to experience life. You get to fuck something up, experience what it feels like to fuck something up, and then rebuild something even better after that. And you get to fucking refine your life through years and decades of experience and life. Just life, bro. Like, I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain because it's so simple. It's just, you're just not supposed to have it all figured out. And I feel like I've said that. I have said it fucking 40 times already, but, you know, the sooner I feel like that you can understand that the people who claim they have it all figured out probably don't. They're just lying. And that you shouldn't have it all fucking figured out. That's when you start